Hey, this is Jackie. This is Pandemic Check-in 19 or 20. It's middle of September 2020. Uh, okay, so one thing I noticed that people are doing as we in Kansas City are really getting back to life, big time. Um, a lot of stores have one entrance and one exit to make there's like one way arrows and stuff like that to make sure that people aren't crossing by each other. Everybody has to wear a mask inside pretty much all the time now, and that's good. It seems to have calmed down a little bit, um, which is great. I noticed that I feel like businesses are going to start merging together to save money. So, I mean, this may have been like this for a long time, but I had to go to the FedEx today and it was inside a Walgreens. Maybe it's been like that for a while. I don't know. But that's a good idea because it's, where the 1 hour photo is. And I don't know if people use 1 hour photo that much anymore. So, merging, I have a friend who moved out of her Pilates studio, which obviously was hit very hard. Um, and moved into another, like yoga studios were hit very hard for coronavirus. So merging businesses, I think, are going to be a big thing. And then I also wonder if they're, I remember in 2008 when they would make the bags have less items in them, like you used to be able to get a pound of coffee, and then they just put less coffee in it and kind of kept the bag the same size, and just trickery ways of saving money for the companies. Maybe that's going to be happening. I do have a friend with coronavirus right now. It's the closest person to me that I have known that have had it. And I guess it kind of bounces around a lot. Like it today, she lost her sense of smell and taste. I guess you'll feel better and then worse, and then it just kind of hits you all over the place. So that's kind of weird. Um, oh, I was just thinking, I mean, I keep having more work, and I just was thinking today that when I think back on the pandemic, I didn't quarantine. I absolutely didn't quarantine. I mean, I've been running around to hardware stores, garden centers, work the whole time. So for me, it hasn't been a stay safe at home. I mean, I'm a homebody anyway, so the rest of the time, yeah, I'm at home, but that's not really that different. But there's like garage sales. It's pretty busy out there. It's nice. Um, I was up in the middle of the night, totally stressed out about somebody who's a Facebook friend who I can't. There's like anti Black Lives Matter thing. Like they're against the BLM. They're not against black people, but they're against the BLM movement. And I don't know how you can be both. Uh, so I just asked, like, can you just explain to me what your issue is with this? I try to have an open mind, and not with a meme or with a reposted, link, but like in your own words, what seems to be the issue with it. And then this girl, I don't know who she is, asked me if I was fucking stupid. I just deleted all my comments, and then I was just like up at 3 in the morning going, wow, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But that's why I don't watch the news or engage in things like that. I went back to my frolicking in the garden. Um, what in the world? Oh, the thing that they posted was a really offensive meme. I'm like, what did I just write? I'm sure he thought it was funny. It was it had a person pooping, and the person was like the BLM movement, which I guess is funny because the BM is like a movement. And then it had a person catching it in their mouth, and it said liberals or something like that. And I was like, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Coffee. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I can't even read my own writing. Oh, yeah. Then, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we all love our quarterback. And I guess they just want to do a silence for solidarity out in the field, and then people booed him, and it's like so embarrassing. Yeah, it's just very embarrassing when people in your city do things that people talk about, and you just feel like, oh, I know what it was. So there's all these BLM, Black Lives Matters murals, because there's tons of artists in Kansas City. So I think there's like 6 to 8 giant murals, and then somebody put tire tracks on them. And I'm just like, obviously these people have been here all along. I mean, it's not like they're here all along. They just feel like they can finally say their thoughts, I guess. I don't know. That's so frightening to me. And then I saw this interview with Trump, which, just a snippet. And it was because I always try to watch comedy. And so Jimmy Kimmel has fill-in comedians who are doing the stand-up stuff. So they showed a clip of it. That's why I saw it. And it showed Trump just like admitting that he downplayed the coronavirus risk, and also downplayed that it was airborne, but that he knew it was airborne because somebody's writing a book about him. And that's just status quo now, I guess. It's just status quo now that he just gets to just lie and change his mind, and everybody's like, well, half the people are like, roar! How can you guys stand this? And the other half are like, he's just messing with the press. Whatever. Anyway, that same guy, no, not that same guy. This other guy, he was saying that he knew a whole family with coronavirus, and his friend was saying it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, why isn't he focusing on the fact that the entire family got it? That's what I heard. The whole family got it. Yikes. And he's like, oh, they got through it okay. And I'm thinking, oh, it's really contagious. And they're thinking, nobody wants to be sick. I mean, I'm sure it sucks. I'm sure it sucks to get it. I don't want it. And then the other thing that kept me up at night was New York City is just still on pause. And so New York City is kind of like the center of the United States, and it's still barely functioning. And so, I like to focus on today and just tra-la-la through life. I called my cousin who's a doctor just to check in, and he just said, I think we're in for some really dark days ahead when people start getting evicted and stuff. I'm hoping that, people team up and, hopefully it works out. I mean, I guess it's whatever happens, I guess, is the version of it working out. I mean, I don't mean to be so bleak. This is the things I wrote down the past week or so. On a personal level, I'm doing great. I think blue-collar workers have all kinds of work. I'm kind of a blue-collar worker. That's what I do. I'm physical. I like doing physical labor. I like doing tasks. And there's just work out there. That's who's running half the show. Oh, the other thing I've been thinking about is grocery stores have been open this whole time, but I haven't heard of any grocery stores having to close down because of coronavirus. And I'm just wondering, that would be a good place to gauge how contagious it is a grocery store. And I just haven't heard of anybody saying, oh, Publix had to close, or, whatever grocery store names are. I haven't heard that. I don't know if people just get it and then they just don't come back to work and nobody says anything, which I think that's kind of what's happening now, is that it's kind of like, well, it used to be if someone got it, a restaurant would close down for 2 weeks, da da da. Now I think everybody's kind of like, well, you kind of know what you're getting into at this point. I have eaten at a few more restaurants. I'm not that comfortable with it, but it's also kind of fun. Um, so yeah, that's my update. I don't think it's very exciting, but you know, maybe one day all these videos will be in a string and it'll tell a comprehensive story of what it was like to go through the pandemic in 2020, just like as a person in the middle of the United States in Kansas. So, who knows? Okay, thank you.